Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, I say this is the morning podcast with Jacob and Ethan.
This is hell.
Yo, you don't want? What do you mean?
Like, I don't know who you've been talking to that's like, yeah, go nuclear, because that kind of sounds like a sketch person to be talking to. But if they by chance are like me, Ethan, I'm for it, but I don't want that shit near my house.
Well, I think that's kind of the problem with nuclear is nobody wants it near their house.
That's honestly why Kansas. That's the only way Kansas would produce United States energies, because nobody lives in Western Kansas. You could put as many nuclear power plants as you want out there.
But then
You need a lot of water to do
any
it.
congressperson, like then you're gonna get voted out of office, right? I mean, unless there's significant financial benefit to you for having a nuclear power plant there.
I don't know, man.
I don't know how you incentivize it, or maybe we need to start doing them really deep underground. I don't know.
I think really, if you're going to have a good argument or a good conversation about how to produce power,
How are we going to power this country in the era of electricity?
that's it. You say like this country. The power grid isn't something where you could, it's not like the internet where you could plug in something in California and get electricity from like Illinois.
No, they do that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we have 3 power grids in this country.
We can send our power to Texas, but it's not like there's loss if we send electricity like 4,000
Sure.
miles. Like it's not you can't just it's not like the internet where you can plug in anywhere and it's like instantaneous power.
We do give power. We do give and get power. Like during the big outages, we got power from Louisiana. Like it's because we were part of the larger grid. That's why we were able to keep warm when
Right.
Texas froze.
Right.
Like
But-
the dumbasses they are.
I don't want to talk about
Fuck
this.
Texas. You don't want to shit on Texas?
I've been in Texas 3 times this year. Amarillo, Houston, and Lakes Texoma. I've had so much Texas this year.
A lot of Texas. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that is because here's the thing. We've lived in an oil. I mean, you could say oil, natural gas. I don't want to say fossil fuel because that's a loaded term. But we've lived in an oil and natural gas energy-based, natural gas, and coal energy-based society for the last 100 years. And we are now moving to an electricity-based society. So the thing about oil and other fossil fuels is that they're portable, right? Like you can transfer oil and coal, you can literally just transfer trainloads of coal. We're going to have to do the same thing with electricity. We're going to have to be able to transfer and store electricity from the places where it is easiest to make it or easiest to find it.
Man, I feel like there's a whole slew of problems with what you said. You said we've been like living in an oil-dominated energy.
Of course.
But we've pretty much had electrical houses since.
Yeah, but what is powering
automobiles.
the electrical plants?
Right.
Oil.
No.
Oil.
Coal.
Coal. Do electrical plants still run on coal?
What? Are you shitting me?
I thought they ran on oil. The machines all run on oil.
Are you talking about oil generators?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
No, they're coal generators?
all of those power plants.
There's no way.
All of those power plants are powered by coal.
You-
They don't burn oil.
Are you saying, but the machines run on oil?
No, they don't.
No?
No.
You tell me West Star Energy uses coal still?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
What do they do, Jacob?
They have machines that generate electricity
How?
that run on oil.
What do you mean run on oil? What do they burn oil?
Like a car runs on oil. They don't burn oil, but they generate electricity, but they run oil.
The closest thing that you're talking about are diesel generators. They do exist.
Right. And I know what a generator is. Like you can generate electricity.
Obviously, we gotta start at some point here. They don't burn just oil. They like a power plant that uses an oil-based fuel is going to be like diesel generators. Vast majority of the country runs on. If you have a power plant, it runs on coal. They bring it in these huge lines of cars. They just sit there, and one by one they get consumed.
Okay, so how does this disprove
really
my
beautiful,
earlier
man.
argument that we're going to have to learn how to transport electricity the same way we transport coal and oil?
Oh no, I had a problem with you saying that like we live in an oil.
We all drive.
Like you're saying, like now's the era of electricity. Like we've been using electricity,
Yeah,
as long.
The backbone of electricity is coal and oil right now. Eventually,
now
electricity
you're including coal.
is what?
Now you're
Now
let's just
I'm
say
giving you
fossil
coal.
fuels. Let's just say fossil
Fuck
fuels.
it, no.
It's stuff you pull out of the ground because we're not freaking New York. Actually, you would know this more than me. I think that the East Coast is one of the weirdest places in America because they still heat their homes with oil, right? Like they actually burn oil to heat homes and stuff.
I'm not sure how the indoor because they have like pipes. So you have like a pipe in your flat. I mean, if like rich
Flat?
people.
Is that what they call it in the East Coast, Jacob? A flat?
That's what they call it in Europe.
I know.
Okay.
They don't call it a flat in New York.
No,
You used to be New York boy. Now you're Europe boy.
I'm not any. I'm just boy. Now I lost my fucking train of thought. They have a big pipe for people who aren't wealthy. They have a big pipe in your apartment, and then it gives off heat. So I don't know how that pipe gets hot.
Yeah. But here's the big.
Now I know they burn coal in China.
They burn coal everywhere. Germany.
Isn't that crazy that
Germany burns coal for like they're burning,
but not for warmth. Like they don't have like a coal furnace in their homes to keep warm.
No, but like
Chinese people, they still burn coal in the house.
Oh, woof.
I know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know that? What's his name? Zhao?
Jack Ma?
No, I don't
Xi
know.
Jinping?
Not Xi Jinping. I think it's just Zhao. XIAO.
Just go ahead.
Okay. Anywho, he wanted every town in China.
You're telling me Mao, M-A-O?
Yeah, that guy.
Mao.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a Zhao somewhere.
There's a Zhao. Yeah.
I should have known Mao.
It's okay. You don't have to know Mao.
I'm not brushed up on my communist dictators. He wanted a steel plant in every small town in China when he took power. He's like, we need to produce so much steel. We need to have a furnace, what do you call it? Smelting place
Yeah.
in every small town.
Dude. Is there an end to the story? Or is that at the end?
That's the end.
Okay.
Man, we're going way down. I don't want to talk about wind energy.
You don't want to talk about but no, there's a great documentary. It's a Chinese documentary called West of the Tracks. Now it's like 9 hours. It's in 3 parts, so it's very long.
Oh my gosh.
But it's kind of about the decimation of the Chinese metals industry. Because you used to have these small towns that would have factories, and they would produce metals, produce alloys, or they would purify metals, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And basically, it just follows all.
Refinery, that's what it's called.
I don't think you call them a refinery.
Like it's an iron refinery, right? If you're making steel.
That's a good question because you're not refining it. Steel is an alloy.
But you like an iron. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, but they follow these people, and like basically all these plants closed down in China in the 90s, and they just follow like the decimation of the people who live there and of the towns and of their living places. So, well, I don't know
What caused it?
What?
What caused?
I don't know. I don't know why they all. I think I don't remember from the movie. I don't know they even really explained it. But I mean, I think it is because don't you? I mean, is it not worth it to talk about energy? It's like literally that might be the question because I think that might be the question of the next 100 years is how do we power the world? Like we are the ways we have been powering the world are getting more and more expensive, and we're also finding that the ways we power the world have detrimental effects on the world we live in. So we need to find new ways to power the world. But I think it's a very important question. I think it's very important to think about because we're going to have to do it differently than we have been.
Right.
Like,
Agreed. Yeah. We can't. I mean, there's a lot of negative things with like just how crazy production's gotten in the last 30 years, right? Like we're producing a lot of bad stuff.
Well, and we're all like, okay, so, and we're not even working in factories. We're working on computers, but we have to power the computers somehow.
Right. Here's two things if we're thinking about energy. One, I would really recommend everybody checks out Pro Bicyclist Makes Toast. So they have this jacked, it's a YouTube video. They have this jacked bicycle guy, and he gets on a bicycle, and he is trying to produce enough electricity to make toast out of a toaster oven.
Yeah.
Or, a little toaster. And it is crazy. It is crazy how much energy it takes for him to produce enough electricity just to burn a little bit of bread.
Well, and this is the thing that I think, like back in the 90s and the early 2000s, the whole thing was, if you just recycle and bike to work. But people need to realize people are never biking to work. They're never biking to work
and
again.
Majority of people don't recycle.
Okay, people are not like, recycling is not going to save the planet. People biking to work is not going to save the planet. We have to find ways for people to do the things they do now. We have to find a way for that to happen. Like, people have to be able to have a effing toaster.
Yeah.
People aren't going to put up with no toasters. You can't tell people to give up their toasters.
But like, I guess I'm talking, giving people give up their toasters.
I mean, that's really that's the ultimate question of,
what
of the
Biden
modernity
wants
is
to do?
how
Biden
do you
wants
keep
to
the
get
toaster
rid of
going?
toast.
Go ahead.
Biden wants to get rid of toast. He's coming for your toasters.
Is Biden coming for our toasters?
No.
Is he coming for your guns?
So my first point was like, it's crazy how much energy
You know
it
what's
takes.
funny? I want you to
A
finish your
clown
point.
with no left foot.
But no, Kyle Rittenhouse, like, Alec Baldwin might lose money or go to jail for shooting a guy,
A woman, yeah, right through the heart.
but Kyle Rittenhouse did it. Anyway, keep going with the energy point. And what were you saying about energy?
Here's the deal. It makes me sad. If I hadn't seen 30 Rock, I wouldn't really give a shit. But I don't want to see Alec go to prison for this. Like, I grown to like Mr. Donaghy. It was a good show.
It was a great show.
It wasn't
Finish the
great.
point you were making. Then we can get on 30 Rock.
Oh, yeah. So one is it takes an enormous amount of energy just to like burn something, create heat, which is why everybody should really go back to wood stoves to heat up their house.
Well,
that's a renewable
The problem with this, so I want you to finish this point, but they're now finding with the research is with wood burning stoves, the amount of like air pollutants it gives off is, I guess, astronomical. They even there's even been research tying the improved health comes of the 20th century to the elimination of the wood burning stove.
Really?
There seems to be an incredibly high correlation between wood burning stoves in the household and people's healths.
Interesting.
It really is bad for your lungs. It's really bad for you.
Oh no, dude!
I know I love wood burning stoves.
Well, I'm building a house. That was going to be the center part. Was going to be a wood burning stove.
I know. I really love having a wood burning stove, but I guess you should look up the research, but I guess
Is it like
it's
just
terrible.
the planet or like the people that live in the house?
It's literally not about the planet. It's about, I mean, it's also a pollutant for the planet, but
Right.
for the people who live in the house, it's terrible.
Oh no!
Like, even if you're in the house and you have good ventilation,
Yeah.
there's just enough shit that gets in the room that it has an effect.
Ugh,
I know.
that sucks.
Anyway, so finish your point.
Oh,
We got to go to wood burning houses.
so we're coming up with a lot of interesting ways to create energy,
Yeah.
but like what like we say energy, like dude, we mean powering your car and electricity. Like, the big thing about powering your car is like, are you going to run on diesel, biodiesels? Biodiesels was a big thing, like,
Right.
when we were in high school, and then now it's electricity. But we don't really have any other energy source other than electricity, and all the power that we produce in the world is generated with water. It's crazy that there's no power plant that makes electricity. You can't do it without water. We have to have water to create electricity. Isn't that a wild thing? Like, you can't live in a desert and and not have a huge well or have some, like, that's another constraint. I think it is. I think it's crazy when you think about it. Like, you never think about electricity always having to have water to make it.
We all come from water.
You're not very.
No, I'm
surprised
into
by
it.
that.
I guess I just I don't know.
Like, we say energy. What do you mean? You mean electricity? Like, there's no
No,
other
I'm
way
interested.
of doing it.
We also need water.
My math teacher in college, he said that they were working on something called like wireless electricity. Now
Right.
I think it's
By induction or something?
no,
like
like
magnets?
sending it through the air somehow.
Yeah.
It's wild.
No, well, I mean, I don't know if you could do it with. I mean, you can send energy via waves, but
Excuse me.
maybe you like create some kind of frequency that, like, we have like AM, FM waves in the air, right? So maybe you could transfer energy via some form of wave, and then when it arrives at its location, it gets turned into electricity. That would be possible. But if you're sending that amount of energy through the air, that probably could not be good for people's health. Like that's because I mean that's the whole thing with radiation. Radiation is just very powerful waves hitting your body.
Right. I do not think of it as being a wave though, because electricity, lightning is not a wave. Of
Right, but if you're
energy.
going to send it
It's
through
a
the air,
current.
if you're going to send it, what you would do is you would transfer the energy in the form of a wave through the air. Like you do it, like, okay, you have a wave, and when it gets to your radio, it turns into music. You have a wave, and then when it gets to the location, it turns into electricity.
Right, but let's think about this. If it's a wave, if you have a power plant, it's just pushing these waves out into whatever can get it gets it, and whatever can't receive it, like it just passes through. Like a radio wave goes to trees, but they can't,
Right.
like it's getting wasted there. You can't do that with electricity. It has to be direct. It has to be a current. It cannot be a wave.
Right, you wouldn't actually be sending electricity. You would like have a power plant that would generate powerful waves, and then at the other end, receiving end, it would convert the waves into electricity.
I can't see your mouth now, but I think it's smiling. 'Cause
No,
of
I
how
mean that's
crazy
literally
it
how
sounds.
you would do it.
No way. That's how you would do it.
Absolutely. Why not?
Because you're wasting.
How are you gonna send electricity
You're
through
gonna
the air?
waste.
How are you gonna send
if
electricity
you,
through
if
the
you
air?
send energy in a wave, you're wasting it. It's not going directly to the recipient.
Well, you would have to like have very, very tall towers.
Here's a great way to
you
look
have cell signals that get passed.
This is a great way to look at this. Let's look at a light switch, right? For a light switch to get power from the switch to a light bulb,
You
it
have
travels
wires.
one direct route.
Sure.
There's one power route, and then one. I forget. You have to have the other wire to complete the current. The
Right.
ground-
You have to
not the
have a
ground.
circuit in order to.
Yeah. So
have a current.
you could do the same thing if you took this light bulb, stuck it on a rod, put it in the ground, and then had a powerful enough energy source where you put that electrode on the other, like let's say in this room, you just stick it in the ground. If you have enough power, it will power the light switch, but it's traveling and wasting so much electricity.
Right. Well, you
on
have
the
to have
area
something
around.
that conducts the electricity.
No, I'm not talking about making the electricity.
If you are taking,
You're seeing what I mean, though. You're wasting power going to things that can't receive it.
But do you know what I'm trying to say with you're saying with the light switch and the light bulb? You can have an electricity source and a thing that receives the electricity be at different sites and not connected by wires, but you have to have some form of conductor. So the ground is probably a very weak conductor, and you're going to have a lot of diffused energy, but if you send enough through the ground, eventually enough energy is going to reach the light bulb to make it light up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a ton of wasted energy there.
Right. But the thing is, it's a wave. Waves don't diffuse. Like they just travel.
But there's a ton of wasted energy there.
Do you think?
You just said so.
It's a wave.
I know. So, like, 10% of the wave gets to the intended target, like the intended light bulb you're trying to light
I guess
up.
you would have to make very high, like if you had a high enough towers, like maybe, because if they were able to travel in a straight line, it's not like waves
Hey,
just like they're not like a liquid that fills the size of their container. Like you can make a wave directly from one source. Like light is a wave.
Look, you're a boy. My major was in business management. What was yours in? I think if the right person hears this podcast, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, those guys are stupid. They are so stupid. We don't know
you
what
get
the
I'm
hell we're
saying?
talking
I think you can make waves. I'm just saying, if you wanted to make electricity travel through the air, you would do it with waves. And I think there's probably a way to make a wave that's direct enough. But you're right. There's shit in the way. Some of that energy is going to be diffused in the process of getting from point A to point B. Something might intercept the wave, and the wave might not be able to pass through it. You also like maybe would have detrimental effects on anything that did pass through it. So I understand. I'm not in support of wave-based electrical transportation. I'm just entertaining the idea that maybe it would be a possible way to transfer electricity.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. We are like this is the new future. We're going to Mars. We're gonna be living in the metaverse. We're gonna be sending electricity via waves.
Oh my gosh.
The new oil fields of the world are the Kansas Plains.
You watch The Matrix. Oh, they're making a new Matrix. But you watch The Matrix and you're like, who would ever voluntarily be hooked up to a machine and escape the real world? And now we're voluntarily doing it through the metaverse.
Yeah. It's
Metaverse, right?
So all the crazy in order to be sane in this world, one has to talk crazy.
And then here lies our prophet, Jacob, the chosen one, who speaks the crazy language of the computer.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, I
It's
don't
a
know.
time for insanity.
Yeah, I don't know.
So how do you feel about 30 Rock?
Pretty good, not great.
Yeah. High-fiving a million angels? What was the McDonald's? Didn't they have the McDonald's character in one episode? What episode was that?
McDonald's?
They had like the Hamburglar or something, like was doing the sketch comedy. There was a song. Do you remember it?
Maybe.
There's something like that. I think my favorite character was Jenna Fischer's.
Oh no.
The very self-absorbed actress.
Yeah. See, like that's her and Tracy made the show funny, but they also ruined it for me.
Really?
Yeah. I hated how outrageous they were. But man, they had their funny bits too. But it was
Tina Fey was like head writer for SNL. So supposedly a lot of the more egregious shit at least has its like kind of foot in fact.
well,
Because it's kind of like their show is supposed to be like an SNL show.
but that's not, how is it? Most of the viewers are not immersed in that. Like that isn't normal for them. Like I'm not gonna know how freaking crazy SNL actors are on the side, right?
Right.
Yeah. So,
But it's kind of it's a weird show where I remember enjoying it. Like I tried watching it when I was younger and I liked it a little bit. Then I watched it when I got older and I enjoyed it a lot more. But I almost can't quote hardly any of it. I can remember like thinking certain things were funny. Dr. Spaceman.
oh,
Like
that was funny.
Dr. Spaceman, Dr. Spaceman. But I can't.
It's Spaceman.
Like all his shit was hilarious, but I can't remember any of his quotes.
Yeah.
80% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
No, but like Tina Fey's character and Alex were, I mean,
They also had a good.
what everybody would say those were the best characters, right? They were the most main characters, or they not what made the
they're
show
like maybe
funny
the
for
main
you?
characters, but I don't know.
What made the show funny for you? What'd you like about it?
It's nice to see a woman finally be funny. A woman who can make me laugh.
There's so many women.
Okay. Oh, there's so many funny women. How
Yeah.
many?
Talk to Norm Macdonald about it.
What? Is there a Norm bit about this?
Dude, yeah, he's got some extremely good bits about women being funny. I guess
Well, they don't have to
It's
get
a whole
laid.
realm of comedy. I don't know
If you're a
about.
woman, you don't have to be funny to get laid. That's what it comes down to. But I don't know, man. I like Tina Fey. I think that's kind of why I liked it. I like Tina Fey. I like her outlook on things. I like her sense of humor.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's enjoyable to spend half an hour in the brain of Tina Fey.
I liked that, but then I liked Alex squashing it. I liked Mr. Donaghy being like, "Sorry, Lemon." That's not
Yeah,
how it
Lemon, that
is."
was her name. What a great name for her.
Yeah. Evidently, she comes from a pretty orthodox background.
Tina Fey?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like Jewish?
No. So her dad was a big conservative guy. I think he did a lot of fundraising for causes and that kind of thing. But her mom is from Greece, like Greek Orthodox. Like her name is like, I think she has a pretty long Greek middle name or something.
Oh, yeah?
Like Tina is short for something. Like that's her middle name.
Oh,
Or I think her first name's Elizabeth.
isn't her name Elizabeth in the show? You're kicking the
Her
mic
real
stand.
in the show her name is Liz Lemon.
Yeah, Liz Lemon,
and,
yeah.
And her real name is like Elizabeth. No. Yeah, it's Elizabeth something long middle name, the Greek thing.
I'm even trying to remember like
She
some
got
of
married in a Greek Orthodox church.
what are some of the
according to-
plot lines in the show even? I don't even remember the plot.
It's all garbage.
It's all garbage?
I mean, the way she ended it was great. It's like they're just getting canceled.
Oh yeah. But how did you ever watch her and what's her name? Amy Poehler do the Golden Globes?
No, I didn't.
You know, they hosted it together a few times.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's worth watching. Although I think Ricky Gervais's was better. Did you ever see his?
I'm sure I've seen one. My favorite Golden Globes thing. I don't know if it was the Golden Globes. Was Stewart? What's his name? Ran the Daily Show.
Yeah, Jon Stewart.
And Jon Stewart and Colbert.
They did the Golden Globes?
I think they did one of the speeches or something.
Oh.
And they like Colbert would just enter in at some point, like, you were all a bunch of heathens, and then Stewart would try to talk about the prestige of acting and all this other stuff, and then they unveiled like a 30-foot statue of the Golden Globes, and Steve goes like, "Behold your God, O Babylon!" It was so funny.
Dude, his
Not a Ricky Gervais
his
fan,
White
though.
House Correspondents' Dinner was really good. Colbert's. Did you see that?
No.
It was right like during the Iraq War with George Bush,
Yeah.
and Colbert, he destroyed him.
Really?
Like, he really got him. It was great. That's one of
Well,
my favorite events.
That's the wild thing about the.
It was my favorite one until the woman that did Trump.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, it was okay. It's.
You didn't think that was hilarious?
No, I just don't like that kind of crude comedy on such a big stage.
What do you mean?
Like the woman who did Trump's
Yeah.
was just really crude. Didn't like that at all.
I mean, it's obvious she was not a fan of the administration.
Right. Nobody is. Nobody ever is.
Of any administration?
Actually, just kidding. Obama.
What are the
probably.
proper limits of comedy then, Ethan?
Okay, no, stop.
Either
Stop.
everything
Hold
is
up.
either everything can be made fun of or nothing can be.
Right. Then just don't have something that crude. Like you definitely tailor your events to who your audience is. Jerry Seinfeld's a pro at it, and at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, you shouldn't have these crude, awful
Michelle
jokes.
Wolf, that's her name.
Yes, her.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I did watch that one.
I watched
you
her-
shouldn't have that on a national stage.
I watched her stand-up
Like,
special.
let's have a little
Her
bit of
stand-up-
respect there. Like, our news is turned into the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Like, you just freaking make fun of the person 24/7.
Well, because you have it on
video.
videotape. The thing is, you're never performing now for the crowd. You're performing for the people filming you who will watch your video later.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I don't.
Unless you're like, that's because then you have to give some real respect to somebody like Lenny Bruce, like old school performance artist, or like even Norm back in the 90s on the talk shows. Because at that time, you didn't realize that we were going to have like people watching shit you did on YouTube. Like they were just doing that kind of performance art
Right.
just for the joy of pissing off the crowd.
Right.
Or who Andy Kaufman's the same way. Like people doing ridiculous shit, not because they thought it was going to get on YouTube or TikTok, but just because they loved messing with everyone.
See, it's in back to 30 Rock. That was one of the interesting things, was like hearing all of her jokes about Bush and the Iraq War, and then when Obama was in, it just kind of stopped.
Do you feel like the comedy world unfairly attacks one party over another?
No.
No?
I think you're only going to make money if you make fun of Republicans, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it depends on how you view that kind of stuff. There's niches and there's places where you can make fun of Democrats and that kind of thing. You just don't have, you're not going to get as much money because there isn't as big of a stage. But you have the option to do it. You have the ability to do it.
I mean, I heard Obama called his
what the
shits
hell is
drone
this
strikes.
podcast about if it's not one of those small vents to rip on Democrats, right?
I mean, do you want to attack Democrats?
Let's attack Democrats.
Who do you want to attack?
I don't know, but let's try to get this as long as we can go about things we don't like about Democrats.
They fall
I don't like
asleep.
how they smell. Now you go.
Is that a 30 Rock thing?
No, this is an Ethan Rock bit. Come on, you're up next.
I don't know, man.
I don't like how they shit in their backyard to create compost for their stupid little gardens.
I used to shit in my backyard.
Oh my gosh.
All right. What else did you want to talk
I'm
about?
only going to go so far before I'm describing myself.
Yeah.
Or you.
I'm just going to start.
One of us is shit in the backyard and then used it as compost.
Oh, I never.
One of us smells bad.
You're not supposed to use. You shouldn't use shit as compost because you might get disease from it.
Freaking.
You shouldn't use your own shit, I guess.
I was pissing on a tree once, and that's just a great story, right? But then we were out in the field or something. Zach's like, don't do that. I was like, why? It's fertilizer. He's like, it's full of Dr. Pepper. You're killing that effing tree right now.
I mean, if you ever want to kill
I
weeds,
always
just piss
remember
on
that.
them.
Huh?
Just piss on them if you ever want to kill a weed. Take a piss on it.
It really works?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, you've got toxins in your piss. That's why it is literally waste removal.
Yeah, but
Urea. You have urea.
No. Human urine is.
It's mostly water. You can drink your urine.
I
a few
know
times.
it's mostly water. I'm saying it's sterile. That's why. What's his face drank his own piss on live television. Not live television.
Who?
Bear Grylls.
Well, you can drink your own piss,
Because it's sterile.
but it still has stuff in it. It still has urea. It still has bad things in it.
Okay, so let's look at two different animal urines.
Like
here.
that's the reason your piss is yellow.
If you drink horse's urine, you'll die, right?
No, I don't necessarily think this.
It's not sterile.
It's just urine. Your urine is the same as a horse's urine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
If animals drank their own piss, they would die.
No, they would survive at the same rate we do.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
It's
dude.
not like our urine is magically like.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You have it's like 85% water.
Oh, actually, no. I need to clarify. My urine is clear. Yours is not.
That's why your urine is, because when you drink more water, your urine is less yellow, right? It's because more water is diluting the things your body is trying to remove. Quit playing with the damn mic stand.
Get away from me!
I can
Stop
tell
talking.
you're doing
I
it.
know my own damn urine. And I didn't mean to touch the mic.
Even when you sweat, you get rid of some urea. You get rid of some pollutants. That's why we urinate. Like we could evacuate water just through sweat or something.
I
but-
urinate because I like it, not because I have to.
But yeah, your shit has a lot more harmful stuff in it, like bacteria and stuff. So you really shouldn't use your own shit to fertilize a garden.
Okay.
Because that's like in China, they do that. Some other places, they use human shit.
You can't blame everything on China.
No, I don't just want to say China, but there's definitely there are places, I think including China, that use feces, animal feces too. But
we do it here.
well, you can use, but you shouldn't just like throw it straight on the garden. I think you're supposed to mix it up with other things.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Hey, so when was the last time you did a podcast?
But I think also like with human shit, it's like I think especially for us, I just want to stay on the shit thing. I think especially like if you're gonna use fertilize a garden with shit, you shouldn't use human shit for whatever reason.
Okay.
Anyway,
I concede.
no, I think this is probably gonna be episode 1 of the new season, but I've already recorded about 5.
In Europe?
I did 4 in Europe.
Wow.
I had some motherfucker though. This pisses me off. I was asking people like, anybody want to do it? And he was like, this dude is just like a dude I know, part of the music scene. Is it already time to eat?
Almost everyone's here, I think, besides your mom and your grandma.
Okay. Well, we're almost done.
Yeah.
How long have we been going at it?
It's 12:37, so we've been at it for 37 minutes.
37?
37 minutes. We started at 11:59.
I guess that's enough time for.
So you're telling me you got
I'm gonna
here
have to
at
keep
11
everything?
and it took us an hour to get set up. I'm going to call BS.
I had to download a driver. I had to get the power supply from Heidi. I had to download a driver for this new laptop. I had to do a few things.
Yeah.
I had to get the internet.
There you go. So, okay, wrapping up, thank you very much for coming to Kansas to do
Yeah.
this. What else are you going to do while you're here?
Work.
Where are you gonna work?
Dude, I don't know. Do you want me to finish the story, or we could not tell?
I'm
it?
sorry. What was the story?
Why do you keep making this about my return to Kansas? I
This-
want this shit to not be about anything.
I want it to be about Jacob's grand reentry and exit from society.
What? I'm only here for try to
A couple months, right?
1 month. I'm not like last time where I came back for 2 months and ended up staying for 8. Worked at a mill. I was even thinking this morning, like, what am I grateful for? And, like, the number one thing in my brain is I'm not still working at the mill.
Well, yeah, that's part of the reason I wanted to do this on Thanksgiving. One, because it's my favorite holiday. 2, I think one of my favorite podcasts was the turkey one.
Look,
a year
that
ago.
one's at. I think that one. I think the second one we did with Zach are 2 of our highlights. I mean, I haven't gone back and listened to them all, but
Right. But it just, like, I thought about this last year's, like, what happened, not December, that morning of Thanksgiving a year ago. Actually, I think it was the day before Thanksgiving.
Something before, yeah.
Because Al was
so
still
I was
alive.
living there, wasn't I?
No.
Wasn't I living at your
No,
house? at
you
the time?
were, you were.
Yeah, 'cause
You were
I was
staying
there.
the
I
night.
came back home when you guys were mercilessly still trying to cut the head off the yet bleeding turkey.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So we didn't do a turkey this year. I woke up at 3:00 this morning.
Ethan had a turkey last year that we weighed on the podcast and that he killed that night to cook on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was a bloody death for the turkey.
I had a dull knife. Look, that's how you learn, though. It's just really sad that Al had to pay the
People
price.
think people who eat meat love seeing animals suffer. I'm telling you, as someone who has butchered chickens and like grown up on a farm, you don't enjoy seeing like killing hogs, slaughtering hogs. Like processing the meat is fun, but actually killing them, they make like they sound like an animal dying, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting.
Well, that teaches a good rule about indifference, right? Like we're, I think, a society that can, partially as a Catholic, indifference is usually never a good thing. But as far as like consuming animals, as far as doing the things you have to do, indifference it's extremely important to know when to apply that. And I think for farmers especially, because my dad would argue that, not my dad, somebody I know would argue that there is actually more like post-traumatic stress in the world, not just for guys going to war, but there's more PTSD because less and less people are like involved in how they make their food, So anyhow, just kind of an interesting little bit there. But we were I slaughtered my turkey. It was awful. It was raining. I was soaking. I had a lamp.
It was raining that evening too. The bird is still flopping around. Maggie, his wife, is holding a light. It's pouring. I get home from work, even as desperately, but it was traumatic. I'm not meaning to make you relive something awful.
Well, no, I mean that's how I learned. I'm going to do it better next time. Right?
And that's you. In order to get past traumatic experiences, you should relive them and learn to see the good sides of them.
And I mean, so this year I didn't do a turkey because I missed getting a couple chicks.
Yeah.
To raise, but
You have some ducks now.
I woke up at 3 to
I saw
smoke
one of your
this
roosters
ham.
picking on your ducks.
You saw that? Was
Yeah.
it just picking on it, or was it trying to?
It wasn't trying to have sex with it.
Oh, really?
Oh, is your chicken
Oh,
having
dude,
sex with your ducks?
Oh, they love that duck. And I think the duck. Oh, dude, it's yeah. No, not fun. There's you didn't really realize that those animals could have feelings for different species.
Why don't you tell them about your ham, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
No, I just said, woke up at 3:30 this morning. I'm smoking a ham instead of doing the turkey. You moved to the Czech Republic. Me and Maggie bought some land. Me and Maggie are expecting my wife, and you're moving back. You're working for a British tech company. It's just, there's a lot of stuff that happened since last Thanksgiving. It's a good benchmark for me. Oh, you want me to close it off? Let me think here. What would be a good close off?